Hey everyone, in this video I'll be working on my 94 Ford Bronco, and I will be replacing the 4x4 transfer motor. Currently I have no four-wheel drive. The light on the dash is always stays illuminated, which is indicative of an issue. When I try to hit these buttons to go into 4, high or low, nothing happens. So in this video I will show you how to replace that. I'm not sure if this is totally necessary or not, but whenever I'm working on a project and there's electrical components involved, I generally try to remove the negative battery terminal from the post before I get started. Okay, so the location of the transfer case motor is, of course, under the truck. So by the driver's side door, I'm going underneath, and you should see it right here. This is the transfer case motor and the connection, which so I'll be replacing all of this. So I believe these are 10mm bolts. I'm going to remove this bracket first so I can safely unplug the old unit from the vehicle. Okay, so once I remove those two bolts holding this bracket, now I have a little bit more play, and I'm going to disconnect this electrical connection here from the old transfer case motor. So I'll need two hands to do that, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I unplugged the electrical connector. Now the only tricky part is you'll notice that you'll see there are 3 wires here, this blue, green, and brown, that actually come from the truck, which we will need to reuse for the new transfer motor. So what we have to do, a little bit of maintenance before we just swap it out, is inside here, see if I can focus, we're going to have to move that red circular retaining ring and then use like a pick to release the plastic tabs that are holding the pins in place for those 3, like I said, the green, blue, and brown. And then once that is released, we just pull those wires out of the back, and then we'll finish off by just simply unbolting the rest of the transfer motor. Okay, so I got that red retainer ring that keeps all the plugs in nice and snug. And if you can see, I just used a tiny little flathead screwdriver, and if you kind of wedge it in and kind of pop it out, it just kind of fell right out. So hold on to that. So now we're going to go inside there and figure out which wires of the 3 wires we need to unclip. And you can do that with a pick or a little flathead screwdriver. And then once they're unclipped, we should be able to theoretically just pull them out of the back. So I am going to do that now. Okay, so you see I got the green one pretty much out here. So you just kind of go in there. You can see a little retaining clip. You just kind of flip it up and then pull out the back with your other hand. So I'll do that with all 3 wires, and then we should be free and clear. Alright, so now I am free and clear. Got those 3 wires disconnected. The brown wire, by the way, goes right in the middle. That's the middle electrical connector inside there. And I got the blue and the green out, which goes on the bottom part of the ring. So now all I'm going to do is just remove the other 10mm bolts and take this transfer case totally off the vehicle. Okay, so I took off all the other bolts. It was 4 more for a total of 6 10mm bolts. And the trick is, when you loosen them all, kind of rotate it down, and then it should pop out like that. Okay, so there's the old transfer motor. This is the new one. This is a aftermarket made by Dorman. I ordered it on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description of the exact one I ordered. So you'll notice a couple of things we need to do, of course, is reinsert the 3 electrical connections from the truck into this, and then grab that red ring that I said to hold on to. We're going to put that in here to secure it. Also, another maintenance thing we need to do is we need to transfer this bracket over to the new one here so we can bolt it up into place. Okay, so I went ahead and reattached this bracket to this one. All I had to do is just give it some force and pull it off, and then reapply it to the new bracket. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is bolt the main unit into place. I am not going to bolt this in yet to give us some room to make the proper electrical connections first, and then I'll bolt that in last. Okay, so I got the new one bolted in place with those 4 bolts. Everything is nice and snug. So now what I'm going to do is take these 3 electrical wires from the truck and just slide them through the back of the new connector till they clip into place in there. And then the last thing I'll do is put that red plastic retaining ring back in so everything is nice and neat, and then we just gotta plug it in. Okay, so I got all 3 of the pins in, and looks like all the clips are locked in place. And so the last thing I need to do is put in that red plastic retainer ring, which I will do now. Okay, so I have that red retainer clip in there, and the last thing I want to do is give those 3 wires from the truck just a good little tug just to make sure everything is nice and secure. And then what I'm going to do is mount the electrical connection right there. Alright, so there it is, all hooked up. So last thing I'm going to do is hook up the negative battery terminal and start her up and hope for the best. Well, time for the moment of truth. So far so good. I don't see my 4x4 light illuminated, neither on the button or on the dash like it was before. So let's take it for a test spin. Let's see. I'll put it in 4x4. And I don't know if you heard it in the video, but I could hear it click over. Now the light is properly on. Let's test out for low. Oh, excuse me, you have to be in neutral for that. For low. Nice, okay, I heard that click over. So it looks like, and then my 4 low range light came on there. So it looks like we are good. I'll shut that off. I am no mechanic by any means, so if I can do this in my driveway, you definitely can. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section. And as always, thank you very much for watching.